This week in Access Module 2, we're working on importing documents into Access. So this is just like what we did when we were importing documents into Excel. And the only difference is we will be working with a few different types of documents this time. I wanted to show you the difference in the notes here. I have it, the data sources that we will be importing into Access. We'll be working with Excel files. We'll be working with text files and Access files that we will be importing into our Access database. The Excel files, again, have the extension on the end, XLSX. The text files have TXT, and Access databases have ACCDB. So whenever you see one of those in the directions on your project, you'll know which data type that we're importing into our database. So I just wanted to point that out. Again, I have it in the directions here, and we will be doing all three. They will be the first three steps in your project when you're doing project A. Let's go ahead and walk through how to import each one of these into our file, our Access file. The first thing I wanted to just mention to you is anytime you're opening or downloading one of the project files from Blackboard, make sure it has the grading info table in here at the very top of your project Access project file. Just click on it, make sure it has your first and last name on it. If it does not have that, just delete this file and go back into Blackboard and re-download that file again. It's very important that it has that. If it doesn't have this information, it's not going to give you that, that graded report at the end, and it's not going to send the grading information back to me to be able to enter that information into the gradebook for you. So please make sure it has this grading info table in it and it has your first and last name. If it doesn't, you will not get credit for the assignment and it won't give you that report. So just make sure that's there, and then you're just going to X out of it. But you should have graded info table. Again, if it's not there, go back and re-download it. Okay, let's start out with downloading these files, or importing these files, I'm sorry, importing files into Access. So to do this, you're going to go to the External Data tab up at the very top of your Access page at the top of your screen. We're going to go to New Data Source and then From File. And over here, you'll see that we have two options. We can pull in, well, we have several options, but the two we're worried about is Excel and text. So the first one we're going to do is an Excel file, and just follow along with the directions that are in your project file. We're going to browse here to go and find our file name, and let's go over to our downloaded folder, and we are looking for our client, our support AC19 2A clients, and that's our Access, or I'm sorry, our Excel file that we're wanting to pull into our Access database. So we're importing means to pull into, export is sending away. So we're importing into, and it tells us in this that we're going to append a copy of the records to the table client. So we're appending a copy to our client table. We're going to click OK. This is all good. Click Next. Again, it asks us, or are you importing to this table? Yes, we're importing to this table. It says do not analyze the table after importing, so we don't want to check that box. We're going to click Finish, and it says do not save the import steps, so you don't want to check that box. Okay. And then it tells you to open the client table in Datasheet view. So remember, anytime we open a table, it's automatically going to be in Datasheet view. Okay, if we wanted to change that, we could go to the Home tab to change our view to design view, but again, it's already in Datasheet view, or we could go over here to our table tools fields tab and look at the different views. But again, it automatically defaults to Datasheet view when you open that, okay? So we'll just close that because it's in there the way we want it to be. And the next one that we're going to be doing is, I think our text file is next. Yes. So the next one we're going to import is our consultant text file or support text file. So again, external data, new data source from file, and we're doing a text file. Okay, so let's go find that file name. And it automatically is going to come up for us, or you can go to your download folder and you see support AC19 2A consultants, and that's a text file. That's what a text file looks like. Double click on that, and it says append it to the consultant table. So append a copy of the records to the table consultant. Okay. Do not analyze the table. Oh, let's make sure I get all this. It says support append to the consultant table. Do not analyze the table after importing the data, and do not save the import steps. So if it does not give you an option for this, we'll just do the delimited characters, such as comma, tab, or separated in each field. So if it doesn't give you the option for delimited or fixed width, just go with the option that it gives you and click next. And we'll just, again, go with the option. It didn't give us anything specific in this. So we're going to stay with the one that's given. Import to the table consultant. And it says we do not want to analyze the table after importing the data, and click finish. And it says do not save the import steps. So close. Okay. And we don't have to open this one or anything now. And so the third one we're going to do is we're going to, on number 3, it says consultants work on projects such as creating websites for internal communication. Use the from database option within the import and link group to import the table project from the support AC19 2A projects ACCDB support file into the database. Okay, so import and link. And so we're going to do from database. So this is our option. So we're importing another database into here, and we're going to choose access because this is an access file. We're going to browse on this, and we're going to be using our support AC19 2A projects database. And it says, we're just going to import. Let me make sure that I have the right thing. Import tables and queries. Okay, so we're just going to import this table. We're going to click OK. We're going to choose tables here. And we're going to use, I believe it's project. that we're going to use. Say okay. And we do not want to save the import steps. And we're going to say close. So we have our new project table with that information that's on it. Okay, so now we have all of our information in there from these new tables that were in there. So were we supposed to? Okay, so we can open this project table to look at it. Open the project table in Datasheet view. So there's our project table in Datasheet view. Remember, it automatically opens in Datasheet view, and then we can close it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So remember, anytime you open something, you can right click on it to open it in design view, and that will open it. So we're supposed to open the consultant table. So I'm just going to hover over it. I right clicked my mouse and I chose design view. That automatically let me open it in design view. Look over at my notes real quick. Okay. So we're opening this consultant table in design view. And then we're going to change the default value of the property for the reside field. Okay, so let's go down to the reside field. We're going to go over to, so we clicked on, what I did was I clicked on, when you hover over it like this, you see the little black arrow that shows that you're in it, and then you can just select that whole row with whatever field name that you want. And if you click on F6, it will automatically take you down here to the field properties, which is down at the bottom. And this gives you all of the options for that field name to change all of the options for it. You can also just click on the option that you're wanting to change. And it's wanting us to change the default value. So I can either tab to get down to the default value, or I can just click in that box. So I clicked F6 to get down here to the field properties, and I tabbed to use my tab key to get down to the default value, or I can just use my mouse to click in that cell. So if you don't have a mouse and you're just doing this on your laptop or something, those are kind of some shortcut keys to help you navigate around in this, or, you know, whatever's easier for you. I'm just showing you a couple of different ways that you can do this. So we're making the default name to USA, and this is in all caps. Now notice when I type in USA and I hit enter, do you see what happens? The USA is in quotations. And we learned that back when we were working in Excel, that when things come in quotations, that is the value that we can typically see in our spreadsheet somewhere. And so that's probably what is going to happen in Access too. So that default value of USA is in quotes. So it's probably going to be visible somewhere in my database, okay? Because it's going to be the default value for this reside field, okay? So that's what we're going to be able to see. And the next one on this, we're going to be doing, it says save the changes. We always want to save changes before we move on to the next item. The little save is this little, looks like a little disc or something up here at the top. Always just click on save after you make a change. Try to get in the habit of doing that just to make sure that your changes get saved as you're going down through here. And it says with the consultant table still open in design view, this is again design view where you have the field names and the field properties visible. Set the caption property as first name. So we're looking for caption. Okay, so for first name field, we're going to set the caption. So I'm going to go up here and again, click in first name field. This selects it. I can go back to F6 to come back down here, click tab until I get to caption, or I can just click in that box. But if you just make sure you're on the right line and you're not putting that in the wrong thing. So again, when I clicked on first name, it's got this pink line that goes all the way around it. So I know I've got the right field name selected. And then I can go down here to caption. Again, I clicked F6 to get down here to the field properties. And for caption property as first name, so I'm typing first name for that field. And for the last name field, I'm going to click on last name. And for caption, I'm typing last name. Clicking enter after I do that, and then it wants me to save my changes. Okay, so I have finished that. The next one, okay, I guess I'm done with the consultant. Okay, tell me to save changes and close the table. And now I'm opening up the client table in design view. I'm clicking on client table, and then I'm right clicking and opening design view. So I clicked on this to make it active, and with the left click of my mouse, and now I'm right clicking my mouse and choosing design view. So open the client table in design view, change the required property for the client name field to yes. So I'm choosing client name. And I'm going down to required field. Again, I can click F6 to get down to the lower section. I can tab down till I get to required. And instead of it being no, I'm going to click down on this arrow and I'm going to choose the yes. Okay, did you see what I did there? There's this little toggle key over here with a down arrow. There is a yes and a no, and this required. Is it required? And you choose either yes or no. It was already no. I'm changing it to yes. Okay, don't just type that in. Go over here and use this toggle key to change if it's required or not. Okay. So I'm going to save this. And because I made a change, the data integrity rules have been changed. Existing data may not be valid for the new rules. So this process may take a long time. Do you want the existing data to be tested with the new rules? You say yes. Oh, hang on. The warning message appears, the data is valid. So click no. So we know that the data is valid. If you know your data is valid, you can click no. If you're not really sure, you can click yes. But since we know our data is valid, we can click no. Now we're going to save this just to make sure. And then we can close our table. Once we're done with that. Now we're going to open the consultant table in Datasheet view. Remember, it automatically opens in Datasheet view. So double click it and it will automatically open in Datasheet view. Okay. And so what we're doing here is we're going to change the currency format to the salary field. We're going to apply the currency format to salary field. So we're going to right click in the salary field. And did you see, do this again. Do you see when you get to a field how the little down arrow comes on it? See the little down arrow when I hover over the salary? and I'm left clicking with my mouse to do that. So the entire column of salary is selected because I want to apply these changes to the entire column of salary. So I'm using the whole salary field column. Okay, I'm making changes to this. So I'm selecting the salary field, and I want to apply the currency format to the salary field. And I'm going to save the change, but not close the table. So I'm going to go up here. Since this is selected and I'm in a table, my table tools field tab will open, or I've got the field and table options. I'm going to go to the field tab, and I'm just going to go up in the formatting group, and I'm going to change the format from general number to currency, and see how it changes the entire column for salary to the currency. So that was the table tools field tab, the formatting group, and I'm changing the format to currency. Okay. And now I'm going to click save to save my changes. And it says, do not close the table. So I'm going to leave it open. The next one says, with the consultant table still open in Datasheet view, move the salary field so that it appears immediately after the start date field. Okay. So I'm going to click the word salary. Do you see when I click on the word salary, you can barely see that. The dark line, the dark bold line appears to the left of the column here for salary, and inside of the little arrow, there's a little dotted box. That allows me to move this. I'm in move mode. I can actually move this entire column. So when I click on this word, the field name up here at the top, I get this dark bold line over here to the very left of my salary column. And there's a dotted line inside or at the bottom of this arrow. So this lets me know that I can now move this column. So I'm going to move it. So it's immediately after the start date field. So I'm going to move it right here after the start date field. So it's going to be between start date and mobile. Okay. So I've moved it there. And I'm going to add a new field at the right of the reside field with the field name skill code. So with a short text data type. So what I did was, after I moved salary here, I clicked on click to add. When I clicked on that, I get this option, short text. And it says to add a new one with short text data type. I clicked on short text, and immediately when I did that, the field one is highlighted in black, and that lets me know that I can type a new name here. And then I automatically get a click to add. I get another option to add a new field name. So I'm going to rename this. It tells me to name it skill code. And again, we're camel casing here. I'm doing no spaces in there, and my second word is capitalized. Okay, so I'm going to click enter to get that field name kind of saved up in there. I'm going to click save up here to save my changes, save the change, and close my table. Okay. So now I am down to number 9. I'm going to open up my project table. And I'm going to open up my project table in Datasheet view. And again, when I open this up, it automatically opens in Datasheet view. I'm going to resize the description field so that all values are completely visible. So I'm right here, and do you see how the little cross comes in? Same thing when we were working in Excel. You get the little cross here when you're ready to resize. And I just want to change the width of this just to make the description field visible. So I'm going up here to the top of the description field till I get this little cross, and I'm double clicking, and that lets all of the items visible just in the description field. So I just resized the description field so that all field values are visible. And I'm going to add another new field following the description field. So I'm going to go here to click to add. I'm going to use number data type, and the name is going to be months. Click enter. I'm going to go up here to save and close the table. I'll save this, and I'm closing my table. Okay, I'm going to open my consultant table in Datasheet view. Again, automatically opens in Datasheet view. I'm going to delete the mobile field. So I'm going to select mobile field. So I'll left click this with my mouse, and now I'm going to right click it with my mouse, and I'm just going to click delete. And it says, do you want to permanently delete the selected fields, all of the data in the fields? To permanently delete the fields, click yes. Yes. So there we go. And let me save this real quick. I saved my change. I didn't close it because in number 11, it says, with the consultant table still open in Datasheet view, decrease the number of decimal places for salary field to 0. Okay. So we're going to select the salary field. All right. From the Table Tools field tab, we're going to go to the formatting group, and we can just choose the decrease decimal and choose that 2 times. So we're going to decrease the number of decimals to 2. And I'm sorry, we were supposed to, oh yeah, that's right. Decrease the number of decimal places to the salary field to 0. Save the change and close the table. Okay. Open the project table in the design view. So right click your project table, open it in design view. And we're going to change the months field. So again, I'm going to select the months field. I'm going to go down to change the default value to 3. I'm going to click F6 just to make sure I'm down here in this section. I'm going to tab until I get down to default value. I'm changing this to 3. Now I can click the little section here. I'm changing this to 3. And I'm going to click OK. Oops. That's what I'm supposed to put. You can just click 3 here. You don't have to open that up for an expression. And then I'm going to increase the number of decimal places to 2. Decimal places says auto. I'm going to increase that to 2. I'm going to click the down arrow here. If you have like a down arrow on the side, go ahead and use that just to make sure. And then save the changes and close the table. So save changes. We're going to close this table. Okay. So open the project table in design view. So I should have just kept it open, I guess. I'm going to add a new field below months. So I'm going to click under months. So I'm going to select this row under months again. Just to be safe, what I'm going to do is go up here to, since I selected the row under months, I'm going to go up to Table Tools Design tab, and I'm going to click Insert Rows just to make sure that I've got a new row selected. Even though I can just start typing under here, I just want to be politically correct on this and make sure that I've inserted a new row, since it's telling me specifically to add a new field and all of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to make sure that I inserted a row there. So since I inserted a row, I'm going to go ahead and type in the name, consultant ID, and that's how you insert a row, by the way. It's called consultant ID. Again, I'm using camel casing, and instead of short text, it automatically defaults to that. I'm going to use the toggle key here and select number. And this field will serve as a foreign key to allow one record in the consultant table to link to many records in the project table. So over here to the description, I'm going to type foreign key. Because that's my description of it. Okay, so I've selected foreign key out here to the side. I'm going to save this, and I'm closing this table. Okay, so now we're going to create relationships. Okay, so this is a big new thing for you. So all that other stuff's pretty easy, pretty repetitive. It's pretty simple to do a lot of this stuff in Access. Relationships are super easy to create as well. Let's walk through these steps, and we're gonna do this real quick. To create a relationship, you're going to do this from the database tools, and you're going to go to the relationship group, and you're just going to select relationships. And all you're going to do is select the items that you want to create to have in your relationship section. So it's telling me in the step 14 that I want to add project table and the consultant table. So project and consultant, I'm going to select both of those. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to close my show table group, or close my show table box. So if you have a section that you can't see all of them, go ahead and expand that out. Your consultant table, like relationship window, expand it out so you can see all of your field names. Okay, because that may be important. You might need one and you might not be able to see it, and just make sure that you can see everything that's in there. You can also, move these around a little bit if you need to, or whatever you need to do here. Okay, so it tells me add the project table and the consultant table, and we're going to create a one-to-many relationship between the consultant and the project table using the common field consultant ID. Okay, and we're going to enforce referential integrity on the relationship. So you always are going to use a primary key going to a like foreign key or another item. So it's always going to be, anytime you're showing a relationship, it's always going to be going from a primary key to another item. Okay, typically to a foreign key. So that's why we name this a foreign key in our other on the field name that we just created in that project table. So I'm going to go from this one. Okay, so I clicked on my primary key consultant ID, and I'm dragging it over to consultant ID in the project table. So again, you're going from primary key to a non-primary key, okay, or a foreign key. So it comes up with this edit relationship box, and it told me to enforce my referential integrity. And I'm also going to check, let me just double check this real quick and make sure. I also want to check the box cascade update related fields, because this means if I update this in another like in another relationship or in another window or something like that, it's going to just make the updates everywhere else as well. Kind of like what we did back in Excel. If we made a change in one place, it would update it everywhere else as well. So if we make a change here, it's going to make the updates everywhere in my database. So I always like checking the second box too, cascade update related fields. It's just a good thing to do that. So we want to enforce our referential integrity, and we want to cascade update related fields. So we're going to choose create. So number 15 tells us, go ahead and save your changes there. It says, with the relationship window still open, add the skill table and create a one-to-many relationship with that. So we're going to go back to our relationship group, which it should still be open. We've created something. So we have this relationship tools design tab is open. Go back to your relationship group, select the show table. So it's going to open this table up. Make sure your tables tab is selected. This is going to give you our tables option. Not really a big deal now because we only have tables to choose from, but if we had tables and queries in here, it would be an issue. So just make sure the tables is showing. And they want us to add the skill table. So we're going to go down and find the skill table, just double click it. And you can move this over and make sure it comes up. If you've selected it more than one time, if you've double clicked it because you didn't see it hiding behind this show table, then you'll have to delete one of them. Okay. So just close this. And now we're going to create a one-to-many relationship between the skill table and the consultant table. And I bet you can guess which one we're going to use. We're going from a primary key to a non-primary key. So we're going to use skill code, go into skill code. Okay. So we're going skill code down to skill code. And you have to make sure you really grab onto that. Skill code to skill code. And again, You're going to enforce the referential integrity and cascade at date related fields. Click create, save your changes, and you can close the window. Okay, now I think we are finished. Yeah. Make sure all your objects are closed, which they should be. You should be closing them as you go. Make sure everything's closed. You want to go to File. Always compact and repair your database before you close out. So compact and repair. Once that's done, go to File, Save As, and then always click the little disk here. And then that way you can choose where you want to save it to. If you're saving on a disk, on a flash drive, or on your hard drive, or wherever you're saving, now you can save your file. Well, I hope that was helpful for you, and let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a great day.